Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to this hour-long Forrest Yoga session. We're going to start today's class in a comfortable seat, so make your way there unless you already are. Feel free to cross the legs, extend them out in front, just do whatever feels best in your body today. And then just resting your hands down onto your thighs. Allow your eyes to gently close. And just start to move into your natural rhythm of breath. Start to draw your attention out from your environment and inwards. And start to notice what's going on for you physically today. Notice the positioning of your body. Shoulders stacking over top of hips. Feel a sense of rooting down through sit bones into the ground. As you lengthen through the crown of the head towards the sky. And if there are any spaces of tension and tightness in your body today, take some deeper breaths and have a sense of breathing into them. A sense of inhaling space and a sense of exhaling what you don't need. Notice your energetic body, your mood, your emotions today as well. Try not to label them as good or bad, just notice them for what they are. And then bring your attention back to your breath. And unless you are already, begin to deepen the breath. Feeling your inhales travel down into your belly and expand up and across your ribs. And on your exhales, have a sense of gently drawing belly button back to spine. Emptying your lungs as fully as you can. Deep diaphragmatic breaths. The deeper that we breathe, the more that we use our intrinsic core muscles. So without even feeling like we're tensing up or trying to be strong, we are creating strength through our body. And our practice today is all about that balance between effort and ease. How can we make our practice on our yoga mat a strong practice where we're able to acknowledge the times when we need to take rest or when we can just step it back slightly to make things feel more comfortable in our bodies? One of the main yogic philosophy texts is called the Sutras of Yoga. And in that book, the physical practice is mentioned once and once only. And that is to say that every posture should feel steady and comfortable. So working to turn away from resistance both in the physical body and in the mind this morning. Find those pockets of goodness in every pose that help us feel good, that help us feel open. And for these last few moments, as you fully connect to your breath, just bring the hands to prayer position at your heart center and bow your chin to chest. I'm sure that you've heard the saying, where attention goes, energy flows. So take a moment here just to set an intention for your practice today. Something that resonates with you. something that you would like to draw into your life, into your yoga practice, or maybe it's for someone that you care about or a cause that you're passionate about. And if you need to dedicate this practice today, this energy to yourself, please do so. Nothing wrong with that. And then gently releasing the hands down, flickering open the eyes. And let's just start by stretching the right leg out. So keeping the left heel in toward pubic bone. If this knee is very high, you could always support it by popping a cushion or a block underneath. So the right leg's off at a slight angle. We want the toes to be flexed and the thigh to be engaged if at all possible. Moving into a side stretch. So take hold of your left ankle with the right hand. And as you breathe in, stretch your left arm up alongside your ear. Now from here, starting to take that side stretch over toward the right, lengthening through the left fingertips. See if you can turn the palm of your hand to face the wall behind you, so you create this wrapping through the shoulder. And then from there, gently relax the neck. Let go of the weight of your head, just let it hang over to the side. And start to reconnect with that deep breath. Again, that sense of finding a space between effort and ease, where the posture can feel like a good opening for you, maybe a bit of a challenge as well. So every practice, every posture feels like an exploration of your body, and every day feels completely different. There's always something to discover, there's something to explore. Good. On your next inhale, allow the left arm to draw you all the way up to the top, and we'll move into neck release from here. So roll the left shoulder back, press through the palm of the hand. It's roughly in line with the shoulder, maybe slightly lower, and then just gently start to, again, allow the head and neck to relax. Right ear moves toward right shoulder, so you're opening up through the muscle fibers on the left side of your neck. Hand your head over to gravity completely. And let's just start to take some small movements through the chin. So begin by turning your chin in the direction of the right shoulder. Notice how that subtle movement creates such a different sensation in the side neck. And if that feels good, if that feels like something you want to work with and explore, then stay there. But otherwise, you're going to just gently draw a circle with the chin. Notice, where are those spaces of tightness and tension? And can you move back into one of them, hold it there, breathe into that space. So there's a sense that you are sending goodness into that space where perhaps it doesn't feel quite so great. And as you breathe into that area, is the jaw unclenched? Are the shoulders soft? Can you bring that sense of ease into the posture? Well done. One more really big breath in. Take the right hand onto the side of your head, so you're just supporting your head to bring it back up and moving into a twist. So the left fingertips come to the mat behind you, the right hand crosses over the left thigh. Inhale to lengthen up through the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, really soften into the belly as you turn. So isolating upper from lower body. Always breathing deeply in our twist, just to give our internal organs a little bit of a massage. Always really good, particularly first thing in the morning, just to stimulate the digestive system. Maybe even closing off the eyes. Again, something simple that can help us feel more relaxed, more grounded. And then breathing in to come all the way back to center. Well done. Let's take that all to the second side. So I'd like you to stretch your left leg out this time. Have the heel of the right foot in toward the pubic bone. Remember, you can pad out underneath that right knee if needed. And take a moment just to activate this left leg. So pull up through the thigh, flex the toes, and then when you're ready for the side stretch, take hold of your right ankle with your left hand and breathe in to stretch your right arm alongside your ear. So there's a sense that you're still grounded and rooting down through your sit bones as you take that side stretch over towards your left toes. So finding an opening through the right side body. Again, see if you can turn the palm of the hand to face the wall behind you to create that wrapping through the shoulder. And then relax the neck. Maybe you're closing the eyes here. Allowing the head to just be heavy. Noticing how these subtle changes in the posture help it to feel completely different. Good, take 2 more full breaths in and out. And let's move into neck release. So on an inhalation, allow that right arm to draw you all the way back up. And now we're placing the right hand, so it's roughly in line with the shoulder. Roll the shoulder back lots and then press through the palm of your hand. Left ear moves to left shoulder. Relax your head and neck to the side. Just feeling into that opening. If this is a really tight spot, maybe you're just gently gliding the bottom set of teeth left to right to relax the jaw. And if you did on the first side and it felt good, start to make those little movements with your chin. So first off, turning chin in the direction of your left shoulder. Noticing how it opens up the back of the neck. And then maybe you're just drawing a little circle with your chin. And pausing when you get into a space that does feel tight, that feels like it needs a bit more opening. And as you move into that pose, just get into the breath as much as you can. Our breath is our pranayama. Pranayama meaning controlling our energy. So it's always an opportunity for transformation in our bodies, in our minds, just by connecting in with this breath. One more deep breath in. Left fingertips to the side of your head, just gently supporting the head as it comes up onto the center line, and then taking it into your twist. So the right hand comes behind you, the left hand crosses over the right thigh, and we're lifting up through the central column of the body, through the spine. Exhale, softening through the tummy, turning toward the side wall. Try to avoid that urge to look over the back shoulder. Keep the chin lining up at the center of the chest. We have a tendency to overuse the neck in everyday life. Obviously, our neck is space in the spine that is the most flexible, the most pliable. But let's make this practice about moving into spaces of the body that perhaps don't move so much in the day-to-day, that need a little bit of mobility. Well done. One more deep inhale. And on your exhale, coming to face the front once more. Okay, from here, let's take it into our forest abs today. We're going to do a little elbow to knee variation. So take some time, just make your way onto your back. And once you get all the way down to the floor, put the feet down for a moment. Now, if you do have any issues in low back today, you can keep the feet on the floor and just do the upper body work. But if you're moving through the full ab exercise, then just lift the feet away from the floor so that your knees and heels are aligned. You've kind of got right angles through the legs. You might find that as we move through this, the knees will want to do this. So I want to move into the chest, but I'd like you to try and keep the knees stacked over the top of the hips. And you will find that way you will feel a lot more at the back of the head. Point the elbows directly up toward the ceiling. And just take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And as you inhale, press your low back firmly into the floor. Then on your exhale, take both elbows towards your left knee and straighten your right leg out in front. Right leg's about 45 degrees. Now you're pulling the low belly down here. Good. Now as you inhale, take your right hand onto the front of your left thigh, and then exhale, press your hand to thigh, thigh to hand, and squeeze your low belly down actively. Good. Inhale, bend the right knee, come back to center, hold the breath in and press your low back into the mat. Now exhale, both elbows towards your right knee, left leg stretches out in front. Draw your low belly down strongly. Now inhale, left hand to right thigh, cross it over. Exhale, press hand to thigh, thigh to hand, and squeeze your low belly down. Good. Inhale, back to center. Hold the breath, press low back to mat. Exhale, both elbows to left knee, right leg straightens. Draw low belly down. Inhale, right hand to left thigh. Exhale, press hand to thigh, thigh to hand, squeezing low belly down. Good. Inhale, back to center. Hold the breath, press low back to mat. Exhale, both elbows to right knee, left leg straightens. Draw low belly down. Inhale again. Left hand to right thigh. Exhale, press hand to thigh, thigh to hand to create that resistance as you draw your tummy in. Good. Inhale, back to center. Hold the breath, press low back to mat. Exhale, both elbows toward left knee, right leg straightens. Inhale again. Right hand to left thigh. Exhale. Create that resistance. Hand presses against thigh, thigh against hand, belly draws down. Inhale, back to center. Hold the breath, press low back to mat. Exhale, both elbows to right knee, left leg straightens. Draw low belly down. Inhale, left hand to right thigh. Exhale, hand presses against thigh, thigh presses against hand, squeezing tummy button in. Good, just one more to each side now. Inhale, back to center. Hold the breath, press low back to mat. Exhale, both elbows to left knee, right leg straightens. Draw low belly down. Inhale, right hand to left thigh. Exhale, press hand against thigh, thigh against hand, create that resistance, squeezing tummy button in. Last one, inhale back to center. Hold the breath, press low back to mat. Exhale, both elbows to right knee, left leg straightens, draw low belly down. Inhale, left hand to right thigh. Exhale, press hand against thigh, thigh against hand, squeezing the tummy button in, hand gently release. So you might want to take the knees into the chest or a full body stretch. Just do whatever feels most intuitive in your body today. Well done. Okay, now in your own time, roll yourself over to one side. Begin to make your way up into an all fours position. And we're going to warm up the upper body with dolphin pose. So from our all fours, wrists are underneath our shoulders, and then we're going to come all the way down onto our elbows. So you want the elbows to be fairly narrow here. So if you were to grab the opposite upper arm, you can do so quite easily. Now, if you have any issues with shoulders, I'd really recommend you interlacing your hands. But if you're used to working with the arms, forearms parallel, then please feel free. So take a moment, get yourself into that space. Then once you've chosen your arm positioning of choice, you're going to just wrap the shoulders. So I'd like you to simply just dump the upper body down for a moment. Just feel what it feels like to collapse through the upper body. This is obviously where we don't want to be in our dolphin pose. Now from here, you're going to draw the shoulders away from the ears, so feel the neck lengthen, and then press down through the forearm. So you're starting to feel a rounding through the upper back. Now from here, tuck under the toes, bottom lifts high, and you can either stay as you are, or if you have a bit more space in your hamstrings, begin to walk your feet slightly closer towards your elbows. So eventually your bottom will stack directly over the top of your elbows. Now, nice big breaths here. You might even want to take a little pedal out through the feet, particularly if the backs of the legs are feeling really tight today. Again, see if you can find those spaces of ease. So relax the neck, but keep the head off the floor. So you're really pressing the mat away through the forearms. Now, options are up level by inhaling and taking your left leg high. So there's a sense that you're reaching up through your left toes, like they're magnetized toward the ceiling. So it's not all about just energy dumping down through the upper body, it's about this lifting up toward the sky. Good, one more deep inhale. And then gently allow the left foot to come down to the floor. Inhale, right leg high this time. So again, think about wrapping through the shoulders. You're pressing the mat away with your elbows and your forearms. And then you're reaching up through the right toes, like you want to tap them onto the ceiling. There's this upward energy drawing the body toward the sky. Neck is relaxed. Big breaths in, deep breaths out. 2 more. Good, and then gently release the right foot down to the floor, come down onto your knees, just take a moment, maybe just sit back onto the heels and give the shoulders a little roll out, backwards, forwards a couple of times. Really, really well done. Okay, from here, let's make our way to standing at the top of our mat. So finding your Tadasana, mountain pose, feet can be hip distance, particularly if there's anything going on in the low back today. Otherwise, feet side by side, arms down by the side body. Take a moment to inhale, roll the shoulders up to the ears, and then exhale, drop them down. Turn the palms of the hands to face forward, spread the hands wide. A moment here just to inhale deeply and exhale fully. Let go of the anticipation you have of your practice today. Now on your next inhale, let's move into chair pose, Utkatasana. So bending through the knees, lengthening the arms up alongside the ears. Now the palms of the hands face one another. Again, we've got this wrapping through the shoulders. Tummy button draws in. So we want to keep length in the low back and also a space in the front of the hip crease as well. Keep the weight back into the heels here. Toes should be able to float away from the floor fairly easily. Working the adductors, inner thighs squeezing into the center line. For 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, forward fold. Hands reaching down to the floor. Inhale, step all the way back to find your high plank. Shoulders stack over top of wrist. Take a moment here. Inner thighs squeezing in, maybe softening into the elbows slightly. That sense of wrapping into the center line. And then gently lower both knees down to the floor, half chaturanga. Squeeze elbows tight to side ribs as you lower belly to mat. Inhale, low cobra variation. Walk the hands forwards. There's a sense of dragging the hands back toward you energetically as you take your heart space through. So there's a bend in the elbows, no straight arms here. Inhale, exhale, come down. Tuck toes, press all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Neck is relaxed, head is nice and heavy. Take a moment to lick the lips if the jaw is feeling quite tight today. And then inhale, look forwards and step your left foot between your hands. High lunge, so press through the back heel and lift up through your arms. Softening into the back knee ever so slightly so that you can tuck under the tailbone and also start to work into the right quad. Deep breaths in, big breaths out. One more inhale, reach up into fingertips. Exhale, hands touch down to floor, step back into your high plank, and then lower the knees. Chest and belly follow, squeezing tummy button to spine as you come down. Inhale, same cobra variation. Plant the hands into the floor, draw the heart space forward. Think about creating space between the vertebrae as you lift up through the chest. So no compression in the low back. And then exhale, come down. Hands under shoulders, press up and back, downward facing. So keep the palms spreading wide, relax your neck. There's that sense of drawing energy up through palms of hands. Now inhale, step right foot between the hands this time. High lunge again, so press through the front heel as you lengthen up through the arms. Now soften into the back knee, curl under the tailbone. Breathing nice and deeply, maybe there's a bit of a stretch for the left hip flexor here. Maybe you're feeling the quad switching on a little bit more. Good, relax your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, hands to floor, step back, high plank. Now this time taking it through full or half chaturanga, do what feels right for you this morning. Lowering with control, inhale to cobra or coming forward onto the tops of the feet for upward facing dog, thighs lifted. Exhale back into downward facing. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Then maybe closing the eyes, shutting off that visual plane. Notice what that does to your energy levels, to your mind. Good, breathe in, soften both knees, look ahead, step, hop or float to the top of your mat. Pausing in that forward fold for just a moment and then inhale, reaching the arms forwards, Utkatasana chair pose. Good, so really lengthening through the tailbone, reaching up through the fingertips. One more big breath in and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step back to your high plank. Exhale, lowering through knees, chest and chin or full chaturanga. Inhale, forwards into up dog or cobra and exhaling back into your downward facing dog. Soften into the elbows slightly, make sure you're not completely knocking out through the arms. Okay, inhale, step your left foot between your hands. High lunge again, so press through the front heel and rise up. Good. This time you're going to bend your right elbow, take the hand down in between the shoulders, left hand comes onto the right elbow so that you're just drawing the fingertips a little bit further down toward the center of the back. Chest is nice and open here, nice big breaths into right tricep. Deep inhale, exhale, release, take cactus arms this time, so elbows line up with shoulders, spread the palms wide, inhale. Exhale, isolating upper from low body, you're just turning upper body to the left. So again, inner thighs are stabilizing you here, you're squeezing in. Well done, another big breath in. Exhale, facing the front, ground the back heel down to the floor, warrior two legs, arms come down by the side body. To get that nice deep bend through your left knee, pressing through the outer edge of the foot so you've got that external rotation through the front thigh. Now let's take it through a few shoulder shrugs this morning. So inhale, squeeze the shoulders up toward the ears and then draw them back and together and take them all the way down toward the waist. Really have that sense of squeezing in and dragging all the way down. Good. Now inhale, just let your shoulders relax where they normally fall and then take them straight back in together. So we're squeezing the middle parts of the shoulder blades in. And then from there, as you squeeze them in, drag them down your back. Good. Relax. Now this time, taking the hands out as though you're holding a tray in each one of your hands. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze the elbows back in together. Bottom tips of the shoulder blades meeting. Squeeze them in and again have a sense that you're trying to drag them down your back. Good. Inhale, stretch the arms out. Warrior two. Moving into a reverse warrior variation. Inhale, flip left hand to sky. Start just by taking the left arm alongside your ear. Option to wrap your right hand around your back, holding waistband or the top of the left hip. And let's move into neck release. So breathe in and then exhale, take your left hand in line with left shoulder. Relax right ear to right shoulder, let go of your neck. So really strong through your low body here. Relax your jaw. And again, think about exploring the pose. So you might be playing around with the positioning of the left hand. See if you can find a nice sweet spot to pause in, to breathe into. Somewhere that needs that breath. Somewhere that needs you to encourage a sense of ease into it. Good, one more big inhale. Gently lift your head back up onto center line. Let's cartwheel the hands down. The right hand comes to the inner edge of the left foot. You're on the ball of your right foot now and inhale your left arm high. Easy twisting lunge. There's a sense that you're gently leaning the upper body back and away from that front thigh. Create space in the left hip. Inhale deeply. Now exhale, drop the back knee down to the floor. Take your left hand down to the mat and sweep your left leg straight out behind you. So you're on all fours, the left leg is extended. Everyone's favorite, we're going to take a half chin stand from here. So rock the shoulders forwards, bend the elbows, keep squeezing them tight to side ribs, hold your chin just a couple of inches away from the mat. Now point through the left toes, reach your left leg a little bit higher. Deep breaths. Okay, inhale, press through the palms to lift the chest so that you can slide forwards onto the hip bones and lift up either into cobra or into up dog. Exhale all the way back into downward facing. And take a moment just to reconnect with a deeper breath here. Soften the shoulders. Can you still hear the sound of your breath over your thoughts? Well done. Inhale, step the right foot forwards, high lunge. So you're gently making your way up. There's no rush. Get your footing nice and steady, soften into back knee, draw in the belly. So this time, the left elbow will bend. Right hand comes onto the top of the left elbow, so it looks a little bit like that from behind. So you're drawing the left elbow behind the back of the head, maybe sliding your fingertips a little closer toward the space between your shoulder blades. Breathing nice and deeply into the left tricep. And think about creating space in the body. Deep breaths. Okay, inhale. Exhale, release. Take your cactus arms. So the arms are at right angles. Big inhale. Now exhale, isolating upper from lower body by just turning upper body toward the right. So twisting through. Inner thighs are squeezing into center line. Again, abductors stabilizing you here. Maybe you're switching on the glutes as well. Okay, breathe in, come all the way to face the front. Round the back heel, find your warrior two legs, arms down by the side body. Now sink nice and deeply into the front knee. Then think about lifting up through the inner arch of the front foot. So you're pressing gently through the outer edge of the front foot. Okay, arms are relaxed. Take those shoulder shrugs to the second side. Inhale, shoulders up to ears. Draw them back in together and then drag your shoulders down. Good, okay, second round, you're just letting your shoulders fall where they naturally do. Draw them straight back in together so the middle bits of your shoulder blades are squeezing in and then drag them down. Finally, taking your tray in each hand. Inhale. Good, exhale, squeeze the bottom tips of the shoulder blades together by elbows moving back and inwards and then drag them down and then reach out through the arms, warrior two arms. Reverse your warrior, flip right palm to sky, right arm comes alongside your ear, and remember you can wrap your left hand behind you to hold on to your waistband or the top of the right hip. Now let's take it into neck release. Right hand comes out in line with the shoulder. Inhale, exhale, let left ear fall toward left shoulder, open up right side neck. Deep breaths here. Remember to explore the side neck by slowly and gently moving the right hand around. And see if you can find a space that needs you to encourage a little bit of extra space and breath into it. 2 more. Well done. Gently bring the left hand onto the side of your head. Just support it back up onto the center line. Cartwheel the hands down. So you're on the ball of the back foot now. Right arm reaches up to sky. Easy twisting lunge. Again, have a sense that you're leaning the upper body away from the front thigh. So you're really giving a bit of space to the top of the right hip. Breathing nice and deeply, maybe even relaxing the neck. Well done. Now gently lower the back knee down to the floor. Right hand comes down to the mat. And you're going to stretch your right leg out behind you. So you're on all fours with the right leg extended. Now from here, our little half chin stand. Rock the shoulders forwards, bend the elbows, hover your chin just a couple of inches away from the floor, reach up through the right toes, big breaths. So really using the strength of your upper body here to support you so that it makes it a little bit easier for the legs. Another big breath in. Now press the mat away with the hands to lift the chest so that you can slide forwards into your cobra or into your up dog and then exhale back into your downward facing. So give yourself a moment here. If you need to maybe lion's breath it out or just sigh out through the mouth, please feel free to do so. And peeling away those layers of tension in the body, but also those kind of critical voices that we all have in the mind. Let them go. Really nice. One more deep breath in. Now look forward, step your left foot between your hands, rise all the way up into your high lunge again. Okay, so we're going to move into a twisted lunge. Just take it to wherever feels best in your body today. So let's begin by bending the elbows into cactus arms, again isolating upper from low body by twisting toward the left side. And you can either stay here or starting to bring the right elbow down across the left knee. Now make a fist with the right hand and spread left hand on top if you're taking this variation. Nice big breaths. A sense of lengthening through the crown of the head on the inhale. Now on the exhale, relax the neck. See if you can just let the right ear drop to right shoulder. Obviously, if you're super wobbly, feel free to lower the back knee down to the floor. Good, now gently release the right knee down to the mat. So again, you can stay in this kind of twisted position in cactus arms. Otherwise, we're going to take this a little bit deeper if you can. So, right fingertips will reach down to the floor. And if they don't touch, you could even bring a block or a book underneath the right hand. Inhale, left arm up alongside the ear. That sense of just turning to look underneath the left armpit, opening up to sky. Now again, you can stay here if you want an extra quad stretch. Bending through the right knee, see if you can take hold of the top of your right foot with your left hand, and then you're opening up through the body. So don't worry if you don't get to the peak of the posture today, it really doesn't matter. Just try to stay with your breath. And then remember, we're working on that balance of effort and ease. Listening in. Another big breath in. And then exhale. Release the back foot if you have the bind. Hands come either side of front foot, curl under your back toes, and walk the right knee a little bit further behind you. So, option one is to stay here. Sinking your pubic bone down toward the front heel. Option two is to bring the hands onto the front thigh so that you're lifting up through the chest. Option three is to take the arms up overhead, interlacing the fingers and finding almost like a crescent moon shape from the tips of your index fingers to the back toes. If that doesn't feel great on the hip, remember you can come up into more of a right angle through that front knee. Good, another big breath in. Now exhale, hands come down to the floor, step back into high plank, meet me there, and then slowly come all the way down onto your belly. We're going to take a little dancer pose variation on our tummy. So I'd like you to stretch your right arm out in front of you, bend your left knee, and take hold of the top of your left foot with your left hand. Now we're breathing in deeply, and on the exhale, we're kicking the left foot into the left hand. So the top of the left thigh might lift up and away from the floor. Now squeeze into your glutes. And as soon as you engage the glute, you might feel the hamstring engaging as well. So nice big breaths here. Maybe you're pressing the top of your right leg down into the floor to help you get a little bit higher through the left leg. So there's also a little bit of a back bend going on here as well, a little bit of everything. Another big inhale. Now exhale, gently release, hands under shoulders, press up and back into your downward facing dog. So remember, this is your moment of rest here. If you need to come down into child's pose or a puppy pose, you're welcome. Do whatever serves you today, whatever serves your body, your mind. Next, inhale, right foot steps between the hands. So coming up into your high lunge, pressing through the front heel. Now tuck tailbone, soften into the back knee. Cactus arms, bend the elbows. So we're just isolating upper from lower body to begin by twisting toward the right. Good, now from here you can stay as you are, or if you're able to, bring the left elbow over the right knee. There's a fist in the bottom hand, the right hand spreads on top, and then you can begin to press down to rotate through the upper body. So again, nice deep breaths. Inhale, lengthen through the crown for a moment, and then exhale, see if you can relax your neck, left ear to left shoulder. Unclench your jaw. 2 more big breaths. Good, gently release the back knee down to the mat. Okay, so remember, if you're in that cactus position, you can stay there, you're fine there. Otherwise, staying in your twist, maybe moving a little bit deeper. See if you can just snuggle that left shoulder a little bit closer down toward the front knee and reach your left fingertips toward the floor or to a block. Inhale, right arm alongside the ear. So we're trying to revolve through the body, gazing underneath the right armpit if that's possible. And if you want to take that extra bind, I always find it much harder on this side, you're bending the back knee and seeing if you can take hold of the top of your foot. Drawing heel to butt. So stay with your breath. Choose your breath over everything else in this posture. 2 more. And gently release if you have the bind. Hands come either side of front foot, tuck under your back toe so that you can just move the left knee a little bit further back behind you. So you can stay here, sinking the pubic bone down toward the front heel. You might want to bring your hands onto the front thigh even, or you can stretch your arms overhead. Interlacing the fingers, index finger point toward the space behind you, and you're creating that half moon shape through the back body, from the fingertips to the back toes. You don't have to sink the hips down quite so much. So again, just finding that balance between effort and ease. The practice is built for our bodies, not our bodies for the practice. Always having that humbling moment where we sometimes just have to choose the breath rather than the pose. Good, 1 more big inhale. Exhale, hands to floor, step back, high plank. Exhale, come all the way down onto your belly. Let's take that dancer's pose variation on the second side. So it's the left hand that stretches out this time. Shuffle myself back. And then the right knee that bends. So you can take hold of the top of your right foot with your right hand. Nice big inhale. And then exhale, kick your right foot into your right hand. You're lifting your right thigh as high away from the floor as you can. Squeezing into the glutes, feeling the hamstring strengthen and switch on. Maybe you're also pressing the mat away with the top of your left leg as well. 2 more nice big breaths here. And then gently release. Well done. Just bring the hand underneath the forehead for a moment. Close the eyes. And just reconnect with your ujjayi breath or your deep belly breathing. And let everything settle for a moment or 2. And then gently bring the hands underneath the shoulders, press up onto all fours. And let's move into puppy pose, Anahatasana from here. So let's begin to walk the hands forwards and let the heart space drop down toward the floor. Now make sure that your butt still sets over top of your knees. You don't want to be kind of like back here in child's pose. You want the chest to be further forwards. If the forehead doesn't touch down to the floor, you could pop a block underneath it. And if you're very open through the chest and shoulders, you might be able to bring the chin to the floor. Just take a moment to surrender here. Everything sinking down, opening up through the shoulders, through the chest. And then slowly, slowly begin to walk the hands back towards you. Sit your bottom over to one side and we will come down onto our backs. So reach the hands forwards and then just gently roll yourself all the way down. Before we close our practice today, I'd like us to take an inversion. So if you have some wall space nearby, you might want to take the legs up the wall, shuffling your butt over and then just resting your heels on the wall. If you don't have any wall space, you might just want to hold on to the backs of the legs and elevate them toward the sky. Otherwise, I'll talk you through a shoulder stand. If you know what you're doing, please feel free to come straight into it. As always, just make sure when you're in shoulder stand, you're not looking from left to right. So I'll talk you through it, and if you're listening to me, just trust that you know what you're doing. I'm sure that you do. Try not to move your head around to look. So I'll shuffle myself to the top of the mat. Obviously, if you prefer to do a headstand or something else, please feel free, so long as you know what you're doing and can do so safely. So you're coming into shoulder stand, arms are alongside the body, you're lying on your back, palms facing down. Just draw the knees into the chest so that you can start to take a couple of little rocks. Eventually, the legs coming all the way up and over like they want to touch the floor behind the back of your head. Don't worry if the toes are hovering away from the floor, that's perfectly fine. And from there, you're taking the hands onto your low back so that from there you can lift your feet up toward the sky. Once you've done that, you can start to shuffle a little bit higher onto your shoulders. So maybe you're walking your hands toward the upper back now. Remembering to stay looking straight up toward your feet. And you can play around with the positioning of the legs if you want to explore. Otherwise, you're just reaching up through the balls of the feet. Maybe you're taking a little swirl or two through the ankles if that feels like a nice release for you. Perhaps you're closing the eyes. Then just have that explorative attitude to your practice. Feeling into your body as it is today. Then take 5 more really big breaths, but if you do need to come out, then of course feel free. You don't have to hold it, particularly if it's uncomfortable. Remember our balance between effort and ease. Good, and taking the feet toward the floor over the head. Cow pose. You might want to pause there for a moment or two before you roll down. You might want to bend the knees and squeeze them into the temples, ear pressure pose, Kakadasana. And when you're ready to roll all the way out, bring the hands down to the floor so that you can use your arms as brakes. And then you're just slowly and gently releasing your back to the mat with control. When you get down, just pause for a moment. Soles of feet are flat. We'll just have a breath or two here. Give everyone a chance to move out of their inversion of choice. And let's take a collective fish pose, which is our counter pose for shoulder stand, but it's also just a lovely restorative posture anyway. So with the feet flat to the floor, just lift up the hips so that you can slide your hands underneath your bottom before extending the legs out in front of you. And then from there, begin to make your way up onto the forearm. So you're lifting up through the chest before dropping the weight of the head back and opening up through the throat. So just let the head dangle down. Feel that gorgeous opening through the throat. This is where our Vishuddha chakra is, our throat chakra, which is our bridge between what we innately feel, our inner truth, and our ability to communicate it and share it with the world. When you need to release, tuck the chin to chest, gently come all the way down onto your back. And either hugging the knees into the chest, or maybe even just coming into a little happy baby if you'd prefer. You could hold on to the backs of your thighs. You might want to hold on to the outer edges of your feet. either keeping it static or perhaps even just bringing a little rock from left to right. And let go of the control over your breath now, just come into your natural rhythm of breath. And whenever you're ready, coming into your final Shavasana, your final relaxation. So just noticing what feels good for you. You might want to take a Supta Baddha Konasana if the low back is feeling a little tweaky today. Soles of feet together and knees wide. Otherwise, your legs of course can be extended out along the floor. If you have any props that you like to use, either behind the back of the head or behind the knees, then feel free to take a few moments here just to get yourself into that space where you can be totally comfortable. And once you're there, just close your eyes. Arguably the most important part of our practice. Giving ourselves an opportunity to allow the physical practice to assimilate not just into the physical body, not just into the muscles and the joints, but also, taking that practice on the mat into the deepest level of our being, into our true self, into our behaviors, our attitudes. So in order for that good work to happen, just acknowledge that for these final few moments of your practice today, there's absolutely nowhere else to be, and there's nothing else to do. Just enjoy these last few moments where you can completely relax. If you have slightly longer this morning for your relaxation, please feel free to stay here as long as you can. But if you know that you need to be making your way, just begin by reconnecting with a deeper breath. Maybe you're taking some little wiggles through your fingertips and your toes. And eventually, full body stretch, lengthening the arms above the head, stretching the feet away. On an exhale, you can hug the knees in and just rock yourself to one side. You can pause there for a moment if that feels good for you. And take a little bit of time there just to reconnect with your intention. I acknowledge everything that you've achieved in your practice today, everything that you've already achieved in the entirety of your day. And then find your way up to a comfortable seat. Take your time. And as you arrive there, just bring the hands to prayer position at your heart center once more and bow your chin into the chest. Take a moment of gratitude for the practice, for your ability to practice, and maybe for something else that springs to mind, something else in your life. And let's seal the energy of this practice with the sound of Om. If you'd like to join me, take a breath in through your nose. With gratitude to you all for getting up so early to practice with me this morning. Bring your hands to the space between your eyebrows, lengthen up tall. Peace in your thoughts. Prayer hands traveling in front of the lips. Peace in your words. And finally in front of your heart. Peace in your actions. Namaste, everybody. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I look forward to seeing you again on the mat very soon. Have a lovely rest of your day. Mwah.